and I think I didn't get to show the audience, but I was looking at, I think whatever his Instagram thing was, whatever. And I said to the audience, I said, this is kind of interesting because I think the last time I saw that was when I think you had come up and you were started doing your first interviews the first time round. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, I'm going to tell my truth. And so I said to the audience, it's kind of interesting that we're back here again. Now we're going to tell us about the cheating thing that's happened. Now he's going to tell us his truth. And I'm like, as a man to man, I'm like, why are you waiting till this is being said? You should have just got ahead of it. You could have saved yourself the trouble. You could have,
oh my God.
You know what I mean?
You don't even understand how frustrating that, because when I saw he had this podcast and I would listen to his podcast in the beginning and I realized it was way too re-triggering for me, because I would hear him say things like she wasn't patient enough and she didn't give me enough time. And I'm like, why can't you just be honest? And I'm trying to give you the time and the grace to just be honest eventually. But he just kept feeding into the lie that I told to protect him, and at my expense. And I was getting flack for why our marriage ended, and I was being hypercritical, and I was, and granted, I was very critical of him, but it's because, I was just like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? But that was my first mistake. I should have trusted my gut, and I should have said no. But nonetheless, I was already married at that point by the time I saw my mistake, and I just had to try to work it out. But I told him, I'm like, man, I gave you the grace. You could have been honest about this. You could have come out and talked about, if you wanted true vulnerability with your audience, you could have talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
But now, he's upset that I'm not protecting him anymore, and I get why. I've done it this whole entire marriage, so I get why he's upset. He's throwing a tantrum. But I really just hope he grows from this, man. I hope he but it's not my responsibility. It's just not my responsibility.